The CRM, which is built into USP data, is absolutely central to how you should be moving lists in and out of the system. I'm going to give you some examples and show you how this might operate, but you should find it a really useful place to either keep work overnight so that you don't have to complete things, by staying late and so on. You can stop it and come back to it, or to import lists and then export them again, and or to manage in a simple form of a simple CRM, manage your calendar appointments and so on. Okay, so starting from the workplace then, I've got a little list here of 23 companies, and let's say that I want to put those 23 companies into a project. So I would double click to put them in first off into a list view, and I'm going to put all these companies, and I'm going to save them in a new project, which I'm going to call project example number 3. And when I press submit, what happens is in the CRM, I get a new project created, project example number 3, and that's it there. So within the CRM, I can actually define various events which are suitable to the sort of business that I'm doing. I can just type in a name here, and I've got Zoom call, telephone, and send an NDA. But it could be anything you like, and you can edit this and delete them and so on and so on. But basically, you set up a series of events, and the idea is that those events are things that you apply to your contacts on certain dates. And so the first thing we should say about the list that we've just imported, the project list that we've imported, there's 23 contacts, but if you look at any one of these contacts, we don't have any named individuals as yet. So what we should do first then is find some named individuals. Well, because they came from the CRM, they are all in orange, which means that they match the company's house data that's within USP. And what I can do is use that matching to add in the contacts based on my selections of director. So for example, let's say, well, there's only one director here, so he'll have to be my contact. I just click on the little dot next to his name. I can move to the next one. I can look at the titles. I can look at the age. I can look at the shareholding and choose, whoever I think is my most appropriate contact. So in this way, I'm building up, I'm adding in data to the records that I've got in my contact list. And I can also type in directly a personal email address, for example, a position, a telephone number, etc., etc. The other thing I can do is I can set up, let's say I was in conversation with this person, and I could make a note of that. I could put, for example, I put whatever I like here, but I could put, spoke about X, Y, Z, and add that as my note. And I can change this and I can get rid of it. And then I can book appointments for this person. So what I would like to do is choose to send this person an NDA in the post. And I'm going to do that. I'm going to post it on the 4th. And if I add that event, then it's in the programmed events list, there will be a list of all the things I've done to this contact, and the last thing that I noted about anything that I've done or any interactions that I've had. And when I save this, what happens is that the adjustments that I've made will be saved against this contact, and in my diary I will have a note on Friday I sent an NDA in the post, and that's because I've set up the link between USP and my Outlook calendar here in the setup menu. I could have chosen my Google Calendar if that was what I was using, but I happen to be using Outlook for this demo. So that's one way that I can use USP to save the data on a list that I'm working on. So I could be working away on this, I could be part way through it, the end of the day comes, I could save it into the CRM, and then the next day I can come back, I can do a new look at the workspace, and I can go to the projects list, and there is project example number 3. And if I move this back to a new saved search, I find that all the companies that I started with are now returned. I'm back to where I was before. So that's a great way to start and save your work overnight. The other thing I can do is if I'm on the find a firm, then I can find companies. I can obviously strike up conversations with people, and I can decide that I want to add them into a CRM project. So let's say I was in conversation with Mr. Bell, and I wanted to retain him as a contact in my CRM project. So what I would do is click on the white dot. It opens a contact. I can allocate him to a project just by clicking. I can add in any details. I can add, his personal email or whatever if I have it. Then I can make a note of what I was saying to him. So spoke about PQR, then I can say I can program an event for him in the future, such as call him on I don't know, the 5th. So once I add that in and save, what happens is I've created now a new contact in that project. I've made an entry into the diary of something to do for that particular contact. If I go to the CRM and look at my projects example 3, I now found I've got 24 contacts, and there's Mr. James Bell. And the other thing that I could do with a CRM project is that I can put it back into the list view, and there it is, and use any of the templates that I've got here. So I set up a template earlier which had the turnover and operating profit for the companies that are on this list view. So if I display those companies in that format, then I find that I've got the latest turnover and operating profit for all the companies in my project, and I can send that to myself, or I can just look at it on the screen and make any decisions that seem relevant. So hopefully you can see that the CRM, simple CRM that it is actually central in terms of shuffling the lists backwards and forwards, importing data, adding data to records. You just basically click on the one you want, and you can edit it. You can directly add a record straight into the CRM, and you can send yourself the list here. And at any time, I could generate a mailing list based on that project by picking a random director based on some selection or sort order that I choose here. So it's as a place to save the information that you're working on. I think the CRM is central, and hopefully you'll see the utility of it as a result of this video.